What is going on, guys? Welcome back to our YouTube channel. You are here with me, Ethan. And as you can see, I've got my room set up like this again because we are going to be talking about the Omen franchise. Specifically, we're going to be ranking all 6 movies. Yep, there's 6 of these bad boys. The Omen, Damien 2, the Omen, Omen 3, The Final Conflict, Omen, The Awakening, I believe it's called, the remake, and of course the new one, the first Omen. So I'm just going to get right into it because the Omen to me is a really interesting franchise, especially if you are coming from someone that watches it with a specific type of faith or belief. So it's interesting to talk about that. It's very philosophical and very political as well. With that being said, let's just start with the worst Omen movie, number 6, and that is going to be Omen 4 The Awakening. Now, Omen 4 The Awakening, I honestly found it just boring. And I couldn't tell if it was the characters or the story, or a mixture of both, because the characters in here are some of the most boring characters in the entire series. I struggled to finish it, and I've only watched it twice. There was one scene I really enjoyed. It involved a roundabout, and that's to me that's the only scene that I really remember. And I just watched it like yesterday. Just can't get behind this one, unfortunately. So that is my least favorite Omen movie. Number 5 is going to be the Omen remake. I usually like remakes, but if a remake just feels like it's an updated version of the original, or they don't change enough to it, then I just find it dull because I can go back and watch the original. So, yeah, the Omen remake basically was just the original to me, but just enhanced graphics and different characters, like different actors playing the same character. So, yeah, like the Omen 4, I just found this one to be extremely boring. Number 4 is going to be the Omen 3 Final Conflict. This one was actually pretty decent. Enjoyed this one a lot more this time. I only watched it once before. Sam O'Neill was great. There is a couple of scenes in here that are really awkward to watch, and it's really bizarre. One involving Damien when he's just going around this figure, just basically slandering, kind of talking on down to it, which was a bit weird. Some really awkward exchanges between characters, but overall, pretty good watch. You know, I said my decent watch. There's some good kills in here. The third act is probably the best. It picks up basically towards the end. I think it's got a satisfying conclusion. So yeah, I'll watch this one again. Whereas the other two I won't probably watch again. Then okay, top 3. This was actually quite difficult because I really enjoy all 3 of these movies. Like really enjoy them. So if I had to pick number 3 though, it would go to Damien 2, The Omen. I think the person that plays Damien in this one did a fantastic job. The scene that always sticks out to me in this movie is where the teacher is like, I assume you know all about Napoleon, yeah? And Damien's like, well, of course I do. And then he just starts like ranting off like all this information, and then and the teacher's like, oh, really? And then he starts like questioning him on dates and everything, like historical dates. It's quite funny because he's like, yeah, I know that, I know this, I know that. And then you get obviously Lance Henriksen in here, and he's just like, you were showing off. That scene to me is just fantastic. But I think this movie overall has just got a great story following Damien as he goes into like college, and this is where it starts getting really like heavy on the political side. But I still enjoy the hell out of this movie. There's a lot of great kills in here. There's some scary scenes as well. The poor person that falls in the ice. That scene made me never want to go on ice again. Yeah, overall, last of a movie to watch. Number 2 is going to be the first Omen, the one I just recently watched. I stand by everything I said in my review. This movie was a return to form for me. It was so unnerving. Obviously, I still say it's going to be one of the best horror movies of 2024, I think. Maybe up there with Immaculate. We'll see. But yeah, the scene, like visuals, kills, story, characters, the main actress was phenomenal. Like this whole movie, I was glued to the entire screen. I didn't really have any issues with this movie. In fact, there was a couple of scenes I could have done without, but then I think the most Omen movies have at least one scene where you're like, okay, yeah, it's just a personal thing rather than a negative or an issue. Yeah, the first Omen, basically everything that's in a review I apply to you. So if you want to check my in-depth thoughts of that, please check that video out. But of course, number one is going to be The Omen from 1976, one of my favorite horror movies, believe it or not. What can you say about this movie that has not been said? This movie, it's phenomenal. Like, master storytelling. It's brilliantly acted. It's scary. It has a brilliant score by Jerry Goldsmith. This is actually one of my favorite scores as well. I like this and the one from the second one, where it kind of feels it's a little bit more upbeat. This movie, it's this just shows you, like, if you've got a good story, it doesn't matter like about everything else. They're all secondary, but if you have a good story, you can keep your audience captivated. Sorry, I've got really itchy eyeball. Probably not a good thing to do while I'm recording. Yeah, basically, just this movie is masterclass. There is nothing wrong with this movie. The scenes are so, like, some of the best scenes in horror history. It's all for you, Damien. The smile, the Rottweiler scene. It's just perfect horror movie, perfect storytelling, and it's just one of the absolute best. So yeah, that's my ranking of the Omen series. I know I'll try to make it as quick as possible so I don't ramble on. I know I can, like I said, ramble quite a bit. I don't know what I'm going to do next because there's a couple other movies I wanted to talk about, and I've not been at the cinema to see any more new ones, so maybe an old one. But yeah, thanks guys as always for the support, likes, comments, subscribes, all that good stuff. And yeah, I will see you all in the next video.